A couple of months ago, Nintendo dropped 8 new Mario Kart tracks, and randomly they shadow dropped Metroid Prime Remastered. This was a weird remaster to drop, and it begs the question, could we get random games remastered like this, releasing at any time randomly? Well, that's something I would love to see, and for that, we have this massive list of 30 plus games that could very well use remasters and would be super well received. So stay tuned for that, and let's jump right into it. Starting off with F-Zero GX. F-Zero is the forgotten franchise when it comes to Nintendo franchises, and everyone wants this one back. So much so that there have been various rumors and speculations saying F-Zero was going to get a remaster for a long time now. If it does happen, everyone will rejoice and celebrate. If it doesn't happen, well, I mean, we've come this far. I could definitely see Nintendo doing this because it would give them an easy opportunity to revive F-Zero without committing to an entirely new game, and creating a remaster with HD graphics and maybe online support. I could totally see them having success with that. Alright, coming in at number 2, we have Metroid Prime 2 and 3. This one is probably the most likely out of everything here, just given the fact that we already got Metroid Prime 1, and now we would probably get 2 and 3 before 4, right? Next up, we have Super Mario Galaxy 2. Unfortunately, this is the one that Nintendo left behind. The one home console 3D Mario game you cannot play on the Switch. It was never in 3D All-Stars, and people need this on Switch. It would have been obviously a much better deal if it had came with the 3D All-Stars collection, but just a complete remaster of this game would be a great way to justify maybe a $40 price tag. Although, to be fair, I'm pretty sure Nintendo did release it in HD with no like actual remaster, just in HD normal on the Wii U eShop, and that was only $20, so maybe they'll do something like that again, but I don't know. Coming in at number 4, this is one of the ones I want the most, Pikmin 1 and 2. If they bring Pikmin 1 and 2 over to the Nintendo Switch, you'll be able to experience the entire Pikmin franchise from your Switch. That would be super cool to see the evolution of the games, and I don't know, I just think that's really cool. I'd love to see them bring these over. It would bring a lot more fans in before Pikmin 4. Coming in at number 5, we have Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. This is the one that fans have probably asked for the most. There have been like Twitter campaigns to get this thing remastered. Maybe people like the Origami King, maybe you like Color Splash. I don't think anyone likes Sticker Star, but everyone can admit that the first Paper Mario games were the best, and Thousand Year Door needs to come to Switch. The amount of demand for this game alone calls for a remaster. A remaster of the Thousand Year Door is kind of like putting themes on Switch. If Nintendo doesn't do it, there might as well just like be burning money. Like, I don't understand this company sometimes. Clearly a remaster of Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door would be a huge cult hit and sell a lot of copies, so I don't understand why they don't make it. Kid Icarus Uprising is this one that I think I personally want the most. Kid Icarus Uprising is one of my favorite games of all time, but it is held back on the 3DS. The graphics could be better on the Switch. The control scheme could be playable on Switch. The online could be resurrected on Switch. It needs to happen, Nintendo. It seems like this game just released at an unfortunate time during the 3DS's lifespan, but it's been a known hidden gem for a long time. I think this is one of those games that could really take off with the Switch effect, where, you know, a game series that hasn't always sold the best gets put on the Switch and then boom, it absolutely blows up. Next up, we have Star Fox Assault/Adventure. Now, these games did not sell well because the Star Fox series is dead. But you know what's not dead? Our channel. We've been uploading very consistently. You've probably been seeing our videos in your recommended. You've probably been watching them and liking them, but you might not have been subscribed. Check that button because most of our viewers aren't subscribed. Thank you. And yes, Star Fox, it's dead. So I really hope that we actually get a brand new Star Fox that shakes up the entire formula, because we clearly need that. But if they just wanted to do some cheap remakes, not actually have to like make a new game and just remake all the assets, Star Fox Assault or Adventure would work perfectly fine. Next, we have Luigi's Mansion. This is a game that actually already got a remake on the 3DS, but if we got Luigi's Mansion remade fully in like a spooky art style on Switch in HD, that would be incredible. The only thing holding back this game from getting fully remastered is it's a bit short, but I still think a full HD remaster would be really cool. Going back and replaying the original Luigi's Mansion kind of reminds me a little bit of Bowser's Fury. Like, the game is really short, but it's a blast for every single second you're playing it. Number 9, we have Wario World. This was a full 3D platformer starring Wario. That's crazy. The Wario Land franchise as a whole kind of got left behind, but now I see so many people asking for like a Wario and Waluigi centric game, and it's like we have a Wario 3D platformer just waiting to be remade. Now, this probably wouldn't be one of the first games to get a remaster, but if Nintendo continues down the remaster route, Wario World could definitely see one happen for sure. The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker plus Twilight Princess HD would be a miracle, because I think we all know Nintendo's charging $60 for each of these games individually. But if they do manage to somehow combine these together into one remake, that would be probably the best priced game on Switch. Wind Waker HD is an incredible game worth $60, and Twilight Princess HD is a slightly less incredible remake in my opinion, but still worth the $60. Combining them together would be amazing. It would be a miracle, but somehow not as miraculous as this next game, Chibi Robo. Chibi Robo would be an absolute miracle to see get remade. This game was a cult classic with a pretty decent underground following. Honestly, getting a remaster would be probably better than getting a new game, just considering what Nintendo's been doing to Chibi Robo recently. Moving on, we have Custom Robo. This was another GameCube game that kind of had a cult following. It's gone under the radar and would be cool and unique to see get a remaster, but it's unlikely to ever happen. Another GameCube game though, this one needs to happen. Kirby's Air Ride is one of Super Smash Bros. Directors Masahiro Sakurai's incredibly underrated non-Smash Bros. Games, and Kirby Air Ride is one of my favorite kart-based racers of all time. The city trial mode in that game is just such a blast. If this game gave you the ability to play online with friends, especially city trial, it would be inspirational. I mean, it would put that recent Kirby's Dream Buffet game that everyone forgot about to shame. And Nintendo has been giving Kirby a lot of love recently, so maybe it'll happen, who knows. And then speaking of Sakurai, Smash Bros. Melee, what many consider to be his magnum opus, a game with an incredible underground turned into somewhat mainstream esports community. Seeing this get remade, it would cause infinite internet debate, but it would just be so cool to see if they could do it right. I think the main thing that's holding this game back from a remaster is just the fact that Smash Ultimate already exists, and Nintendo wouldn't want another Smash game to kind of cannibalize its sales. But to be fair, Smash Ultimate stopped receiving DLC and updates a long time ago, so maybe we could get a Melee HD with the next Switch whenever that comes out, or something else, I don't know. And then next up, we have PJ talking about one of his favorite games of all time.
Thanks, Thomas. I'm gonna cheat here and pick two games for this one from my childhood: Pokemon Coliseum and Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. Now, these are some of the most underrated games I've ever played. Pokemon Coliseum introduced us to the Ore region, which featured shadow Pokemon, double battles, and an amazing story. However, the game that did the Ore region even better was its successor released a year later, Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. Now, Pokemon has done remasters of Mystery Dungeon and New Pokemon Snap, which were mostly solid, so I could see these games getting remastered, and I'd much rather see these games than see this.
Thanks, PJ. Next, we have any Mario and Luigi game. Yeah, unfortunately, Alpha Dream, not looking too hot. Actually, maybe a remake's not a good idea considering countless remakes is basically what killed the company. But seeing one of these games on Switch would be awesome. For number 17, we have Super Mario RPG. Will this literally ever happen? I don't think it's even possible because Square owns like part of this game. I don't know. I just don't think we'll ever see a remake, but if we did, I think the internet would explode. I mean, the fact that people are still clamoring for Geno to get into Smash Bros. Is crazy to me. Number 18, we have Banjo-Kazooie. Microsoft, please just let it happen. If Microsoft let Rare remake the original Banjo game for Nintendo Switch, I would lose my mind. I am very much in the minority when I say this, but I enjoy going back and replaying Banjo-Kazooie more than I do Super Mario 64. I think the game has aged incredibly well, and it's a blast getting a remade version of this, or like a modern game that isn't The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Nuts and Bolts, whatever that game is. I would lose my mind. I would be so happy. I think what's holding this game back isn't actually Microsoft, because Nintendo already has a solid relationship with them, but it's the fact that this game is already on N64 Online. I feel like from Nintendo's perspective, Banjo-Kazooie's already on the Switch, so that kind of would defeat the whole purpose of trying to get Rare and Microsoft to make a remake. 19, we have Mario Kart Double Dash. Out of all the Mario Kart games to get remade, Double Dash, it needs to happen because online could be huge in this game. As you might know, you can already play with 16 other people using LAN. If they just converted that into online lobbies when the game actually launched, as a full remake, having 16 player online lobbies would be insane for the competitive scene, party scene, streaming scene, content creation scene, just anything. Similar to Melee, what hinders this game from coming out is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Nintendo is still supporting Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and they've shown very little interest in making a brand new Mario Kart for Switch, so a port of another Mario Kart on Switch, I don't know. It would be hilarious though if the two Switch Mario Karts were both ports of different older Mario Karts. Moving on to one of my favorite games of all time, Donkey Kong Country Returns by Retro Studios. Tropical Freeze is pretty much better than this game in every single way, but that doesn't mean this game is bad far from it. It's already gotten remade once for the 3DS. A remake in Tropical Freeze's engine with the same graphics would be incredible. Hey, maybe they could even throw in playing through the game as the other characters that were added into Tropical Freeze. And coming in after that, we have either a Donkey Kong Country Trilogy remake or a Donkey Kong 64 remake, and I don't think this is gonna happen. One, because the Donkey Kong Trilogy games, some of which are already on Nintendo Switch Online, so like I don't know why they'd remake it for the Switch. And then Donkey Kong 64, the licensing is all like messed up. I don't think Nintendo even knows who owns that game really. It's like between Rare and Nintendo, I don't know. So I don't think it's gonna get remade, but it would be awesome because that game would be a lot better with just a couple subtle tweaks. Number 22, we have Fire Emblem Path of Radiance or Radiant Dawn. These games came out when Fire Emblem didn't have the success it has today, and considering how much people are paying for used copies on eBay, a remaster of these games could see success. And with how much Nintendo seems to love Fire Emblem, it's definitely possible. Xenoblade Chronicles X is like the one big Wii U game that hasn't made its way over to Switch. Come on, it's past time. I feel like this one is definitely going to happen, but I doubt it'll get marketed as a remaster like Metroid Prime did. Instead, I think we'll get a Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition, similar to Xenoblade Chronicles and how that got a Definitive Edition. Although that game had a massive art style glow up from the original on the Wii, in my opinion, Xenoblade Chronicles X for the Wii U doesn't really need a glow up art style wise. Never played the game, but from what I've seen, it looks visually stunning already, so I don't know, I don't think it really needs much. Everyone is a little bit disappointed by the Mario sports games on Switch. Even if you're a fan of them once they're fully updated, no one likes this model of update them later, and the games themselves just haven't recaptured the magic of the GameCube titles. So a remastered Mario Sports Mega GameCube Mix Collection would be amazing, and because it would be amazing is probably why it's not going to happen. Nintendo can barely release one full Mario sports game. I doubt they're gonna give us 4 in one bundle. Speaking of amazing, Mario Party 4 through 8, a Mario Party 4 through 8 collection would be incredible. Obviously they did 1 through 3 for Superstars, so I could just do 4 through 6, but Mario Party 8's my absolute favorite, and 7 wasn't bad too. Getting to play Mario Party 8 boards in HD on the Switch, I mean, if I see Koopa's Tycoon Town, I might lose my mind. No clue if anything like this would ever happen, but it just needs to. Many people see these games as the peak of Mario Party, and it would be the best way to have an amazing Mario Party experience on the Switch at this point. Next, we have the legendary Starfy. This is a charming series similar to Kirby, and it actually implemented 3D-esque models on the DS, so it would look pretty good as an HD remaster. This may be possible considering how much attention Kirby has gotten lately, but the series might just be too niche. Number 27, this is Mother 3. I don't even really need to say anything here. This is just like the remake of all remakes that people want. Giving this game something like an HD 2D art style similar to Octopath Traveler or Triangle Strategy, that would be incredible, but it would obviously take a lot of effort. If Nintendo simply translated this game and put it on GBA Online, that alone could be a massive selling point for the online expansion pack. The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons definitely could get the same treatment that Link's Awakening got back in 2019. I personally love this parallax, artsy, kind of arts and crafts style aesthetic. The diorama look and feel fit Link's Awakening perfectly, and I am not familiar with Oracle of Ages or Oracle of Seasons, but playing through any 2D Zelda in this art style would be more than enough for me to purchase. Earlier in this video, we talked about Super Mario Galaxy 2, and if that game gets ported over, then Super Mario 3D Land literally has to. This was a pretty fun game too. I actually think it's a blast because obviously it's a predecessor to 3D World. I actually predicted that some of these levels would be included HD remastered in the 3D World port before that was announced and we knew Bowser Fury was coming and all that. In fact, I made an entire concept trailer for it, and while obviously these animations here aren't as good as it would possibly look, it still makes me want to see this game in HD so bad. A remaster would be a great and now kind of the only way to get this game on Switch. Last but not least, this one's absolutely crazy. Super Mario 64 DS remake. That's right, I would rather them remake Super Mario 64 DS than the original Super Mario 64. I know that that's absolutely heinous, but the extra content would just be nice, because think about it, you're never gonna go back and replay the remake. You would replay the original game, but getting to access a remake of this like Super Mario 64 and a half weird, port with so much extra content, getting to witness all of that extra content, including new levels, new characters, new storylines, all of that in HD would be incredible. It sounds weird, but hear me out, Super Mario 64 DS HD would be a dream come true for a lot of 3D Mario fans. And with that out of the way, those are the 30, well, more than 30 games I want to see remastered, but that's not important. What's most important is you letting me know what your games you want to see remastered are down in the description. And then if you've enjoyed this video and want to get irrationally angry, click the video on screen right now because we're going over Nintendo Switch hot takes.